my passionate and loyal Scorpio friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Scorpio, this week carries a quiet restlessness just beneath your surface. You may sense a tension, an urge to close one chapter while not quite knowing where the next begins. The world you've shaped, the boundaries you've drawn, feel different now, as if your skin is shedding and you aren't sure what comes next. There's a longing for completion, for relief from a cycle that seems to have reached its natural end, yet the comfort of what's familiar tugs you to stay. It's not easy to admit how tired you are of carrying what you no longer need. Part of you wonders if you're allowed to want more, or if you're simply supposed to settle. There's a subtle ache in wanting release, and yet you're deeply aware of the cost of letting go. This week, the air around you feels both full and slightly emptied, like the moment just before thunder, when everything is charged but nothing has yet broken open. You know change is coming. You feel it in the heaviness in your chest and the way you move a little slower, a little more carefully. There's both hope and hesitation, and the pull between them is what defines these days. Sitting with this, you embody the spirit of the world. You're standing at the edge of something hard won, a culmination of effort, growth, and even pain. It's not just about crossing a finish line, it's about the weight of every step it took to get here. You feel a mixture of pride and exhaustion. There's a sense of having outgrown your old story, of finally seeing the patterns that once kept you spinning in circles. Yet even as you recognize your progress, there's a bittersweetness. Completion often brings relief, but it can also be disorienting. When the noise quiets, what remains? You might notice moments of stillness that feel almost foreign, as if you're waiting for the next challenge to announce itself. There's a gentle pressure in your chest, a quiet voice asking, "What now?" That question lingers, casting a shadow even as you celebrate your victories. The urge to move on competes with the security of what you know. You may feel gratitude for what's been accomplished, but also a subtle anxiety for what's undefined. There's a temptation to rush into the next thing, simply to fill the space. But under all of that, there is an unspoken wisdom, an awareness that real endings deserve to be honored, not hurried. You sense that you're at a threshold, and for a moment, you allow yourself to be both satisfied and uncertain. This is not a failure. It's simply the end of one story and the quiet, trembling anticipation of what comes next. Out of this inner state, a new current begins to move. When you've poured so much into closing a cycle, it's natural for the heart to start searching for what's next. Yet the sense of completion can feel hollow if it's not matched by inner alignment. You may find yourself asking deeper questions. Am I truly fulfilled or just comfortable? Is there something I'm avoiding or something I'm being gently called toward? These questions are not distractions. They are the next layer of your growth. The desire to move forward doesn't arise in a vacuum. It's created by the space left behind when you release what's no longer necessary. The tension between satisfaction and restlessness becomes the doorway through which the next chapter approaches. The need to honor what's complete makes the search for meaning even more vital. This is how the journey unfolds, each step a response to the quiet urgings of your heart. On your path this week, the 8 of Cups shapes the landscape. You are carried by a gentle but persistent pressure to move beyond what's familiar. There's a feeling of being called away from the comforts you once sought, not out of boredom, but because something within you has shifted. The routine, the patterns, the old successes, they don't hold you the way they used to. There might be a sense of dissatisfaction, like a favorite song you've played too many times. The melody is still beautiful, but it no longer moves you. This can create subtle friction in your daily life, relationships that feel slightly out of tune, conversations that seem to circle the same topics, ambitions that no longer light you up. The world you built is still standing, but it doesn't fit as snugly as it once did. There's momentum building, almost quietly, a pull that grows stronger each day. You may notice yourself daydreaming about something different, or feeling a strange nostalgia for possibilities yet to be claimed. The pressure isn't dramatic, but it's consistent. It's the kind of restlessness that won't be soothed by distractions or empty reassurances. You're being asked to pay attention to what feels off, to honor the discomfort as a signpost. The world around you may seem to mirror this inner shift. Opportunities that once excited you now feel obligatory, and even simple pleasures can carry a bittersweet edge. You sense that staying would mean betraying a part of yourself that's quietly yearning for more. The friction comes from knowing you could remain where you are and be fine, but there's a deeper truth insisting that fine is not enough anymore. With every step, you're moving toward a more honest version of yourself, even if that means walking away from something once cherished. The path isn't clear, but the urge to move is undeniable. The pressures of this week are less about external events and more about the internal reckoning that insists you acknowledge what you truly want. The possibilities waiting for you hinge on how fully you meet this moment. If you move through these days on autopilot, the deeper invitations may pass unnoticed. But if you let yourself truly feel the discomfort of growth, the uncertainty of leaving behind what's safe, you open the door to something richer. True potential isn't unlocked by easy answers, it's revealed through honest engagement with your own longing. The friction you feel isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign you're alive to the truth of your situation. Only by witnessing your own restlessness can you begin to understand what it's pointing toward. The future is not predetermined here. How you meet this week's tension, whether with avoidance or curiosity, will shape what becomes possible for you. At the heart of your potential lies the Five of Wands. Here, the invitation is not to escape conflict, but to engage with it consciously. Growth comes from embracing the natural messiness of transition. You may notice competing desires within yourself, old loyalties tugging against new ambitions, comfort wrestling with curiosity. This inner friction does not have to become chaos. Instead, it can be the creative spark that propels you toward new understanding. The energy here is dynamic, alive. It's a reminder that progress is rarely smooth or linear. You might feel pulled in several directions at once, uncertain which voice to trust. That's not a flaw. It's the sign of a life in transition. The invitation is simply to be present with your own contradictions, to let yourself feel the full range of emotion without rushing to resolve it. In doing so, you allow the possibility for something authentic to emerge. The path forward may not be obvious, but as you give yourself permission to inhabit the confusion, you'll find clarity in the very act of staying present. Growth this week is not about fixing or perfecting yourself. It's about making space for all the parts of you to have a voice and trusting that something coherent will eventually emerge from the dialogue. The potential here is subtle but profound, a new kind of confidence that comes from knowing you can hold tension without breaking. All three cards, the World, Eight of Cups, and Five of Wands, sing together in the story of your week. You begin at a place of completion, carrying the weight and wisdom of what you've accomplished. Yet that very fulfillment creates a longing for something deeper, something more resonant. The urge to move on is not a rejection of your past, but an honoring of your own need for aliveness. The discomfort you feel isn't a problem to solve, but a message from your inner world, an invitation to seek what's truly yours. And as you step onto unfamiliar ground, you encounter the friction of transition. Competing desires, doubts, and hopes all crowd together, creating a kind of inner sparring that can feel overwhelming. But this is not chaos for its own sake. It's the necessary unsettlement that precedes real transformation. Through honoring the ending, respecting the call to leave, and meeting the conflict honestly, you find yourself growing into a fuller, more integrated version of who you are. This week, you are not asked to have all the answers. You are simply invited to trust the process, knowing that the tension you feel is already a sign that you're alive to your own becoming. Let yourself rest in the knowledge that endings, departures, and friction are not signs of failure, but markers of a life fully lived. In this space, you can find both reassurance and quiet strength. Actionable insights for Scorpio this week. Let yourself linger a moment longer in places that feel complete, noticing what rises up as you do. Try allowing a small, honest desire to be acknowledged, even if you don't act on it yet. Spend a few minutes with the discomfort of change, simply breathing and letting it move through you. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I honor all that I have completed. I let go, even when it feels uncertain. I listen to the quiet call within me. I trust my ability to grow through change. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.